Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving back into the intense world of 24 Season 1, recapping the action-packed episode 21. If you're catching up or just need a reminder of where we are in Jack Bauer's worst day, you've come to the right place. Senator Palmer's life is still on the line, and Jack is deep behind enemy lines. The clock is ticking down to 9 p.m., and things are about to get even more complicated. Let's jump in. The episode opens with the iconic digital clock reminding us just how little time Jack Bauer has left on this terrible day. We quickly cut to Jack himself, briefing us directly on the situation. Terrorists are plotting to assassinate presidential candidate Senator David Palmer, and his family is also a target. Jack grimly states that today is the longest day of his life, and it's far from over. While Palmer is at a campaign event, back at CTU, agents like George Mason and Nina Myers are discussing the threat against him. Jack, working in the field, learns that the notorious Victor Drazen is involved. He urgently requests backup, but faces frustrating delays getting a field unit dispatched. Back at CTU, George Mason finally sends a unit, but creates tension with Jack's wife, Terry Bauer, by making an inappropriate personal comment. Terry, meanwhile, is desperately trying to get information from Nina about Jack and what happened at her safe house earlier, feeling increasingly left in the dark about her family's safety. This interaction highlights the stress Terry is under and the difficult dynamics at CTU. Jack and his team finally arrive at a DoD location, believing they are there to evacuate Victor Drazen. But it turns out to be a trap. They are immediately ambushed, leading to a chaotic and explosive firefight. While this is happening, George Mason is trying to reassure Terry that her daughter Kimberly is safe, but secretly tells his assistant to keep Terry away from him, adding to her isolation. Elsewhere, Senator Palmer seems uncomfortable with the intense flattery from his assistant, Patricia, and abruptly leaves, asking her to change his speech. The CTU assault team storms the holding facility where Drazen is supposedly located. Inside, amidst a dark shootout, Drazen's men corner a CTU agent, but then strangely hug him. They consolidate, taking a distressed man into custody as a bargaining chip, seemingly concerned about someone named Alexis. Meanwhile, in a separate subplot unfolding in jail, we see inmate drama, featuring a blonde inmate who seems out of place. Simultaneously, Drazen's group is moving a bound figure who appears to be Jack, intending to breach a door. Drazen confronts the hostage they have, revealing his chilling motive: revenge against the hostage and his family, including his wife and daughter, for something that happened years ago in Kosovo. The hostage calls him insane, but Drazen, showing his cold resolve, opens a door and places a call to Mason at CTU, initiating negotiations. Mason informs Terry that Ryan Chappell is now in command and briefs her on the dire situation with Jack. That Drazen has him, along with several hostiles and explosives. Mason asks Terry to help relay information to the field unit, but admits negotiations will be difficult and emotional. In the jail subplot, the blonde inmate is nearly framed for smoking by another prisoner. The lights flicker ominously. A visually striking split screen connects the blonde inmate's situation to Jack's, showing her in jail alongside Jack being tortured via electric shock, while Drazen has flashbacks to losing his family and explicitly blames Jack for their deaths. This confirms Drazen's driving force. As Jack recovers from the torture, explosions and gunfire erupt around him. The CTU assault is happening. One of Drazen's men orders another to keep Jack alive, showing Jack is valuable to them, likely as a bargaining chip or for revenge. Back at CTU, Terry is alerted to the prison breach. The assault team disarms laser mines inside the facility. However, Terry soon learns devastating news. Jack and the Drazens escape through a tunnel, seemingly using an old sewer system. In a separate scene, George Mason arrives at a party to congratulate Senator Palmer, but also warns him about the ongoing threats posed by Keith and gives him unsolicited marriage advice. Mason refuses to celebrate, fixated on the lingering threats and trusting his own judgment. Drazen points a gun at the previous hostage, but Jack cries out that it's a ruse. They've been after him all along. Despite this, Drazen's man brutally executes the hostage anyway, and Jack is forced back into the van. Meanwhile, Terry is overjoyed to finally hear from her daughter Kimberly on the phone, but the call is abruptly cut short by the terrifying sound of an ambush on Kimberly's location. It's also revealed that the blonde inmate from the jail subplot is actually an imposter. A vehicle carrying Drazen, the imposter, and a bound Jack is suddenly rammed multiple times by another vehicle. All three are forcibly extracted from the damaged vehicle by a man in a ski mask. The imposter then reveals a critical piece of information. Jack knows about Elizabeth Nash and plans to meet Senator Palmer's aide, a new layer to the conspiracy linking the Palmer storyline directly to Jack's predicament. Inside the van, Jack struggles desperately as Drazen prepares a syringe. Just when things look dire, the van crashes. This sudden turn of events gives Jack the opportunity he needs, and he manages to escape, leaving Drazen and the imposter behind. What an episode! Jack Bauer is free, but he's still on the run and in immense danger, alone against Drazen and his forces. Drazen has escaped the CTU raid, executed a hostage, and is clearly driven by a deep-seated revenge against Jack. The imposter's reveal about Elizabeth Nash and the link to the Palmer aide adds another crucial layer to the plot, tying everything together. And to top it all off, Kimberly might be in trouble again after her call was cut short. The clock is still ticking, and the final hours of the longest day are shaping up to be the most explosive yet. Stay tuned for our next recap, where we'll see how Jack handles being on his own and how these converging threats play out as the clock nears midnight. Don't forget to like and subscribe.